This video is going to look at how you can convert a process data table into a graph which is acceptable for the internal assessment component of the IB Diploma. It will include all of the requirements which will allow you to excel with processing data. This is a process data table with 5 versions of the independent variable, your minimum, 5 repeats for the dependent variable of each version of your independent variable, a calculated mean, and a standard deviation. The precision error of the recorded data is consistent with the process data and the error included within the title. We now need to graph your independent variable against your mean of your dependent variable. You could highlight the whole process data table, and there are methods to actually allow you to produce the graph that you want. However, for me, the simplest way to do this is simply press equals for your first one, and this gives you 0, which is your first version of your independent variable, and you get all of them recorded in this way. Equal for your mean, and again you drag it down. This is useful because if you change this to 1, it changes here. If this becomes 3 rather than this also changes here. That is why I like to use the function. I now need to highlight these and choose the graph that I want. This means I need to go to insert. You need to go to scatter graphs because the data is continuous, and the IB likes the scatter with straight line and markers. Add a meaningful title. It should relate your independent and dependent variables in some way. I'm going to move this down here to allow myself have more space. I'm going to make it bigger. I will be careful to ensure it's not going over the table which I'm working on. I now need to add chart elements. I need to add axis title, both the x-axis title and the y-axis title. On Excel, they're referred to as primary horizontal and primary vertical. Click on the x-axis title and put in whatever your independent variable is, not IV, but the name of your independent variable. Add your precision error and your unit. You do the same for the y-axis, but in this case it's a mean version of your dependent variable. You still want your precision error and your unit. This graph is starting to look better. However, you need to add a trend line. So choose trend line, choose more trend line options, choose the little bar graph symbol here, column graph symbol here, and look at what is the best trend line to match your data. In this case, it suggests it's possibly polynomial. You should also select the R-squared value. The R-squared value gives you information on how strong the correlation is between your independent and dependent variables. It is here as 0.9986, suggesting the correlation is very strong. I also need to add error bars. So again, add error bars and choose more error bar options. You do not want the X error bars. Click on one, delete. Then you click on one of the error bars, and this may be difficult. If it is, simply make your graph bigger. Click on the error bar, and then you go to error bar options, and again you go to this little graph. I like both with caps, though not required. It is important that you choose custom, not any of the others. you must choose custom. You then choose specify value, and you want to specify the value for both the positive error bar and the negative error bar. For the positive error bar, you click on this arrow and you choose your standard deviations. Highlight them, press enter, and repeat the process for the negative error bars. Once they're both in, you press OK. And it is worth looking at these. If you look at my error bar for my independent variable 9, it is 10.2. So is this 10 more than the data point? And it appears to be. It is by far the biggest error bar. For my first one, it is 2.1. So again, it looks like 2.1. So this data appears to be correct. If I go back to this table and I change the information in here, it automatically updates and changes this data here. So 2.3 becomes the 2.3, 2.7. It gives me 12.5 here, and I now have 12.55 here, and the graph has changed with a significantly bigger error bar. And you will notice that the correlation coefficient is now much weaker. If you want to put this into a Word document, simply go copy the table, Control C, or Command C if you're using a Mac. Go to your Word document, press Command V, and you can tidy this up. You do the same for your graph. You simply click on the graph, Control C on a PC, Command C on a Mac, and you paste it in. It can be resized within Microsoft Word or whatever program you're using, but it should be at least half of a page. It is important with your table to add a caption. So you click on this, right click, and insert caption. It will be a table, and your caption should link your independent variable and dependent variable. This now brings this onto a second page, but that is okay. You can resize, and that is all you need to do with app graphing. I'm going to go back to this and look at what happens if you're looking at a graph where you're combining data from two sets of information. It is essentially the same. The independent variable is put down along here. The dependent variable, the mean, is down along here. I am going to change this so that the number of decimals is the same. I'm then going to insert graph, or insert chart, I should say. I put this in. I put in my title. You choose what your title is. I add my chart elements. So I add axes titles for both the X and the Y. And again, you put in the information here. This should be the independent variable on the X-axis, the precision error, and the unit. On the Y-axis, it should be the dependent variable, the mean dependent variable, with the unit and precision error as well. I still need to add my trend line. And again, I will choose more options. I will, in this case, choose a linear. I will choose my R-squared value. And in this case, it gives an R-squared value of 0.643, which suggests that the correlation is not very strong. However, that is not a problem as regards your graph. I still need to add error bars. To do this, I'm going to move this down so I have access to the standard deviations which are calculated. I'm also going to make it bigger. I'm going to go to add chart elements, choose more more error bar options. I'm going to remove I'm going to try that again. Hopefully it will add the error bars that I want. I want both. I want custom. I want to specify value. I want to choose my calculated standard deviations. Click OK. The error bars are now on.